Hey, I'm about to go to bed, but I wanted to shoot one more video about grit because I kind of basically read the whole book. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I basically read the whole book today. That's about 240 pages. So my average reading time is, I think, 30 pages an hour. I could get a lot better, but I'm just starting out. So the whole premise of the book is about grit and how grit is what determines what the successful people. So it's both a factor of nurture and nature, and you can improve it in two ways: from the inside out and from the outside in. So outside in is choosing who, and sometimes it's hard to choose, but figuring out the coaches, the teachers, the guides, leaders, parents, friends, those people that will guide you in a way that makes you more gritty. And grit was your perseverance. It was a combination of, well, there's four combinations. So this is another way you can work on it internally. So first, I call it ICCP or ICC IPPH. IPPH is the acronym. So I first starts with interest. You have to have an interest in that area. Without interest, you're already doomed to fail. But interest can be cultivated, and the more you do something, the more the interest will grow. So you have to have some kind of interest in it. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it at all. Second is the practice part. So interest will keep you there, keep you long enough. But what practice will let you do is it'll help you improve your skill. And in order for you to really enjoy something, you have to be good at that. And you can only get good at something if you practice. So by practicing, you're causing an upward spiral of goodness. If you already have interest in it, it makes it easier to practice. And you need to practice to build the skill. And the better you are at something, the more you like it. And that's just scientifically proven. Next P is purpose. So tying all of that together in a purpose that's meaningful, not just to you but to others around you, will help your grittiness score, help you improve your grit and your perseverance in the things that you do. And the last one, and it's not necessarily last because it's not necessarily last because it's last in the acronym, but it is hope. So hope is defined as optimistic, she says in the book, but not careless optimism where you just believe that things will turn out right, but optimism in a way that there's always a solution to something. There's always a better way. And obviously, you want to balance that because if there's one goal, you want to find your one core goal that you strive for. Then there's 3 levels of goals, or even more. Basically, at the bare minimum, a top goal, that's one goal. Then a couple goals below that are mid-level goals, and then a whole bunch more that are low level goals. So as you work your way up the goals, you become more and more stubborn about that goal. So the top goal, you're going to be really, really stubborn about not changing that. But the bottom goal, you're a little bit more lenient, and the lowest level goals, you can be pretty lenient with that because it's not about those goals, it's about the end goal. So for example, if you're, let's say, want to make $1,000, and one of the ways you want to do that is selling tomatoes, you don't be stubborn on that goal because you're not going to be able to sell as many tomatoes as if you were to sell lemonade, for example. So being lenient on there and experimenting with those small goals will bring you to that one. And so having hope is kind of the opposite of learned helplessness. Marty Seligman did a study on dogs back. This is a little unethical, but back in the day, they would lock dogs up in cages and give them shocks at every interval. And for half of the dogs, they made it so that if they pressed a panel on the ground, that the shocks would automatically stop. And in the second group, they made it impossible for